Hi, thank you for joining me for this week's episode of First Chapter Friday. As you can see, there you go. We'll be reading Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. OMG, Mom has gone insane. Not normal Mom insane, serious insane. Normal Mom insane, Mom would say, let's all do this great gluten-free diet I've read about in the Daily Mail. Mom buys 3 loaves of gluten-free bread, and then it's so disgusting our mouths curl up. The family goes on strike, and Mom hides her sandwich in the flower bed. And next week, we're not gluten-free anymore. That's normal, Mom insane. But this is serious. This is serious insane. She's standing at her bedroom window, which looks over the rosewood close where we live. And no, not actually standing. That sounds too normal. Mom does not look normal. She's teetering. She's leaning over the edge, a wild look in her eye, and she's holding my brother Frank's computer. It's balanced precariously on the window ledge. Any minute it will crash down to the ground. And that's 700 pounds worth of computer. Bear in mind, this is written by a woman who is British, so pounds would be dollars, not pounds weight. Does she realize this? 700 pounds. She's always telling us we don't know the value of money. She's always saying stuff like, do you have any idea how hard it is to earn 10 pounds? And you wouldn't waste that electricity if you had to pay for it. Well, how about earning 700 pounds and then deliberately smashing it on the ground? Below us, on the front lawn, Frank is scampering about in his Big Bang Theory t-shirt. He's clutching his head and he's gibbering with panic. Mom! His voice has gone all high-pitched with terror. Mom! That's my computer! I know it's your computer, Mom cries hysterically. Don't you think I know that? Mom, please, can we talk about this? I've tried talking, Mom lashes back. I've tried cajoling and arguing and pleading and reasoning and bribing. I've tried everything, Frank. But I need my computer. You don't need your computer, Mom yells, so furiously that I flinch. Mummy is going to throw the computer, says Felix, running onto the grass and looking up in disbelieving joy. Felix is our little brother. He's 4. He greets most life events with disbelieving joy. A lorry is in the street. Catch up. An extra long chip. Mom is throwing a computer out the window is just another one of the list of daily miracles. Yes, and then the computer will break, says Frank fiercely, and you won't be able to play Star Wars ever again. Ever! Felix's little face crumbles in dismay, and Mom flinches with the fresh anger. Frank, she yells, do not upset your brother! Now our neighbors across the close, the McDougans, have come out to watch. Their 12-year-old son, Ollie, actually yells, no! When he sees what Mom's about to do. Mrs. Turner! He hurries across the street to our lawn, and he gazes up pleadingly along with Frank. Ollie sometimes plays Land of Conquerors online with Frank, if Frank's in a kind mood and doesn't have anyone else to play with. Now Ollie looks even more freaked out than Frank. Please don't break the computer, Mrs. Turner, he says, trembling. It has all Frank's backed up game commentaries on it, and they're so funny. He turns to Frank. They are really funny. Shh, thanks, mutters Frank. Your mom's really like, he blinks nervously, she's like Goddess Warrior Enhanced Level 7. I'm what? Demands Mom. It's a compliment, snaps Frank, rolling his eyes. Which you'd know if you played Level 8, he corrects Ollie. Oh, right. Ollie hastily agrees. 8. You can't even communicate in English, Mum flips. Real life is not a series of levels. Mom, please, Frank chimes in. I'll do anything. I'll stack the dishwashers. I'll phone Grandma every night. He's casting about wildly. I'll read to deaf people? Read to deaf people? Can he actually hear what he's saying? Deaf people? Mom explodes. Deaf people. I don't need you to read to deaf people. You're the bloody deaf one around here, and you never hear anything I say. You always have those wretched earphones in, and I turn to see Dad joining the fray. And a couple of neighbors are actually stepping out of their front doors. This is officially a neighboring incident. And Dad calls again. Let me do this, Chris, Mom says warningly, and I can see Dad gulp. My dad is tall and handsome in a car advert way, and he looks like he's the boss, but inside he really isn't the alpha male. Let me do this. No, that sounds bad. He's actually an alpha male in lots of ways, I suppose, but Mom is even more alpha. She's strong and she's bossy. And she's pretty and bossy. Did I say bossy twice? I did, didn't I? Well, draw your own conclusions from that. I know you're angry, sweetheart, Dad says soothingly, but isn't this a little extreme? Extreme? He's extreme! He's addicted, Chris! I'm not addicted, Mom! Frank yells. I'm just saying. What? Mom finally turns her head to look at Dad properly. What are you saying? If you drop it there, you'll damage the car. Dad winces. Maybe shift it a little to the left? I don't care about the car. This is tough love. She tilts the computer more precariously on the window ledge, and we all gasp, including the watching neighbors. Love? Frank is shouting up at Mom. Love? If you love me, you wouldn't break my computer. Well, if you love me, Frank, you wouldn't get up at 2 a.m. behind my back to play online with people in Korea. You got up at 2 a.m., says Ollie to Frank, wide-eyed. Well, practicing, Frank shrugs. I was practicing, he repeats. I have a tournament. I have a tournament coming up, Mom. You always said I should have a goal in life. Well, I have. Playing Land of Conquerors is not a goal. Oh, God, oh, God. She bangs her head on the computer. Where did I go wrong? Oh, Audrey, says Ollie, suddenly spotting me. Hi, how are you? I shrink back from my position at my bedroom window in fright. My window is tucked away in a corner, and no one was meant to notice me. At least, and least of all, Ollie, who I'm pretty sure has a tiny crush on me, even though he's 2 years younger than me and barely reaches up to my chest. Look, it's the celebrity, quips Ollie's dad, Rob. He's been calling me the celebrity for the last 4 weeks, even though Mom and Dad have separately been over to ask him to stop. He thinks it's funny and that my parents have no sense of humor. I've often noticed that people equate having a sense of humor with being insensitive morons. This time, though, I don't think Mom or Dad has even heard Rob's oh-so-witty joke. Mom is still moaning. Where did I go wrong? And Dad is peering at her anxiously. You didn't go wrong, he calls up. No, nothing's wrong. Darling, come down and have a drink. Put the computer down for now, he hastily says at her last expression. You can throw that out the window later. Mom doesn't move an inch. The computer is rocking still more precariously on the windowsill, and Dad flinches. Sweetheart, I'm just thinking about the car. We've only just paid it off. He moves towards the car and holds out his hands as though to shield it from the plummeting hardware. Get a blanket, says Ollie, springing to life. Save the computer. We need a blanket, everyone. We'll form a circle. Mom doesn't even seem to hear him. I breastfed you, she shrieks at Frank. I read you Winnie the Pooh. All I wanted was a well-rounded son who would be interested in books and in art and outdoors and museums and maybe a competitive sport. LOC is a competitive sport, Mom. You don't know anything about it. It's a serious thing. You know the prize pot in the international LOC competition in Toronto this year is $6 million? You keep telling us, Mum erupts. So what? You're going to win that, are you? Make your fortune? Maybe, he says, and he gives her a dark look. If I get enough practice. Frank, get real. Her voice echoes around the close, shrill, and almost scary. You're not entering the international LOC competition. You're not going to win the bloody $6 million prize pot, and you're not going to make your living from gaming. It's not going to happen. End of chapter 1.